Breaking news literally right now. The September jobs report has just been released. We have two fabulous reporters with us to help break this down who are reading them as we're speaking. Here to help us with that is NBC News business and data reporter Brian Cheung here in studio and editor-in-chief of Investopedia, Caleb Silver. I will give you both just a minute to actually read these. I know we just got them, I think, in the last 20 seconds. But first, while we set that up, Brian, if you don't mind, I'll ask you, because we were talking about this yesterday here on our show and in the afternoon, what we had kind of this little glimpse already with jobless claims. Tell us what we thought that was going to set up for this report we're getting today.
Yeah, as you mentioned yesterday in the morning, we did get a read on jobless claims that showed a tick up week over week in the number of people filing for unemployment insurance. But the question after that was naturally, what is the labor market going to look like as of September? And we just got the numbers now, Savannah. The numbers showing 263,000 non-farm jobs added in the month of September. The unemployment rate actually ticked down between August and September to 3.5%. You'll recall that it was 3.7% in the month of August. Most of the job gains that we saw in the month of September were due to leisure and hospitality and in healthcare. It will be interesting to see how much of some of the staffing, and specifically leisure and hospitality, might be related to perhaps holiday staffing. That might be a bigger story also in the retail sector as well. But overall, this is a jobs report that shows the American labor market is still chugging along quite strong despite these recessionary fears. If we were in a recessionary environment, you would expect to see maybe contractions. But again, 263,000 jobs added in the month of September, broadly speaking, that appears to be a good thing. Yeah. Hey,
Caleb, let me bring you in here. And that one of the things that Brian just mentioned is something that sticks out to me because it's something that stuck out to you. The last time we talked about that was that particular growth in that leisure and hospitality sector. But tell me, what does stick out to you here? Any surprises to you?
Well, the unemployment rate ticking down a little bit surprises me because we know in the last jobs report it ticked up. Why? More people were looking for work. This shows that maybe less people were actually looking for work. Labor market may be stabilizing here. Leisure and hospitality has been the biggest grower so far in the past 12 months. It was also the biggest loser before. So no surprise there. Nice to see an uptick in the healthcare jobs, a nice uptick there. Also professional and business services, that continues to grow. We also saw some wage growth, a little less than expected, about 5% annually. We know that's not keeping up with inflation, but generally good news here. Market digesting this. Futures still kind of bouncing around.
Absolutely. Wage growth. Let's talk about that right now. Brian, why is a figure like that so important, especially as we're in this phase of uncertainty, recession, not recession, different opinions on that if we're already in one? Tell us about why that particular metric matters.
Yeah, it's important because it's almost a Goldilocks situation, right? If wage growth is coming in too low, that's a really terrible situation for Americans when you consider that they're having to pay more prices at the store, right? But the feedback loop also plays in reverse. When you consider that if wage growth is too hot, what that tells you that employers might be raising their prices to make sure that they can pay those workers those big pay bumps. So there could be this kind of self-fulfilling cycle, what some economists call the wage price spiral, which, by the way, most economists say isn't necessarily happening yet, but something that, it's a reason why they look at the wage growth numbers so closely to see, all right, are you kind of slicing it right in the middle of those two extremes?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.